What's going on? Jeremy here. We're at UC Berkeley. We just got done driving an hour from Sacramento. We're here in the middle of Ben Shapiro's talk, right at Ziegler Hall or whatever it's called. I'm not sure, but as you can see all around, we've got cops here. Right to my left, we've got some Black Lives Matter speakers talking over there. Over here to my right, we've got some chants going on. There's a big crowd over there with probably, I would say, at least 100 cops. So we're going to kind of walk around. We're going to talk to some of these guys here, see if we can get some the discussions going, and see what they're chanting over there. Let's go figure it out. Let's go. What's your name?
Dan.
Dan, nice to meet you, brother. All right, what do you got here?
A sign.
All right, why is he an asshole?
I think that more than that, he is a fascist and a racist and a transphobe. And in my opinion, someone who is all three of those things is an asshole.
All right, how is he? Let's start with let's go down the line real quick. How's he a fascist?
Fascism, as a political ideology, wants to silence the voice of the minority. It wants to put power with the state. It wants to militarize all of life. It wants to attack the arts. It wants to expound on sexist ideologies.
Okay. Is Ben doing that?
I think that Ben is doing some of those things, yes.
Do you know what he's talking about tonight?
He's titled it Fighting Campus Thuggery.
Okay. So do you think it's okay that we can just kind of like try to shut down speakers who come to campuses like this?
Are you trying to shut him down?
I would love to just let whoever wants to talk.
So I don't understand your question.
Well, we've got a group over there who's saying the same thing, that they want Ben out. I saw your sign. It looks like
Say don't speak.
You don't agree with Ben, I take it.
I do not agree with Ben. I think he's an asshole.
Okay. Well, do you think he should be able to speak though?
I have no opinion about that.
Because I'm sure as hell going to be heard, no matter if they tell me that I don't have a voice, and you should too. You are out here, you are standing against that fascism, that racism, the Trump-Pence regime.
We got some demonstrators up on the staircase up there. They got a sign that says "Fuck BPD," UCPD, while they're hiding behind the protection of like 30 cops, which is a little ironic, I guess.
Trump. He has nothing to do with Trump.
Speak out, and we're going to speak in a way that the students...
So they hate capitalism, but this guy's making a bunch of money off it.
Put your fist in the air and say this with me. Repeat after me. In the name of humanity. In the name of humanity. We refuse to accept a fascist America. In the name of humanity.
I feel like I'm in a traveling circus. What's up, man? What you got going on here? What is this?
Says it there.
Leading light communists? Are you guys like you're trying to get communism going in America or what?
You can go to the website and find out, lco.org.
I'm just trying to have a discussion, man. I want to learn right now. You're not a very good salesman, man. You got to help sell me on the idea here. What's the idea behind communism that you're trying to do?
A world without oppression.
All right. I mean, does communism get rid of oppression? It seems like when it's been tried before, it kind of got more oppression.
The failures of socialism and communism are better than the success of capitalism.
I mean, the death counts are pretty telling for all the times communism has been tried. I mean, how many millions did Mao kill?
Again, since when? What about you? Like, are you comparing the death counts? Because pretty sure.
Yeah.
Stalin versus Hitler, like, or even if you did include like.
It's a pretty good fight.
Even if you did include communist leadership.
Can you give me an example of when communism has worked?
Can you again? I'm still behind on the other question, which is the whole thing about you saying that there's all this blood from communism. What about Hitler? He's capitalist. He's fascist. That's not communism. So
he was a fascist. He was a fascist, but he was a socialist.
He was imperialist socialist. So no, he wasn't a socialist. We have different definitions of what you're talking about. He wasn't trying to make an equal world with everybody. He was trying to kill a bunch of people who, by their race, he was trying to kill people. He was trying to steal a bunch of wealth and then share it within his own country. That's social imperialism. capitalism. That's not socialism. So know your definitions before you talk to me. Why don't you go and look up the definitions of our website?
Do you know what Nazi stands for?
No, why don't you actually go to my website and look up the definitions of things?
Nazi stands for National Socialist Party.
Yeah, I understand the term, and I just explained to you what socialism actually means. So go and understand that. And
What about
do some research? And please stop talking to me.
Venezuela's got socialism right now?
Stop talking to me.
How's that working out?
Can you stop talking to me? Or are you just gonna?
I just want one example of where socialism or communism has worked.
Said socialism, communism, failures are better than success of capitalism. I've nothing else to say.
Okay.
I have one question for you.
All right, we're at the empathy tent. I don't know exactly what that means, but I guess if you feel like your feelings got hurt, come over here. Look at this guy right here. This dude is capitalism at its finest. He's running around with Venmo, taking cash for water. This dude's a genius. Keep it up, brother.
Thank you. $1 bottle, cash and
It's not really left or right, if that's what you're asking. But
You're not left or right?
I will ask some tough questions. I'm a libertarian.
Ooh,
I'm up
okay.
for open free speech.
That's on the right, buddy.
Free speech is on the right?
Well, okay. I mean, if we want to get a little nuanced, this,
Well, first of all, what's your name?
I'm not going to give you my name.
No? Why not?
I'm not going to give you my name.
All right, so we have a nameless gentleman here.
Yeah.
He's got a sign that says "No platform to this transphobic piece of shit." All right, brother, here's your platform. What's your take of this situation?
Well, I'm pretty upset, and I'm standing here. I'm here now in place of my trans friends who physically cannot be here because they feel unsafe. Because the guy inside has said that being trans is a mental illness, and he's being protected by the university and $500,000 or $600,000 and an army of police officers in riot gear, and that makes me feel upset, and it makes me feel heartbroken for my friends who already undergo systemic oppression on a daily basis, who now can't come out even in their own city, on their own streets, because they don't feel safe in their bodies.
It seems to me like most of this crowd would support your ideas, though. Everyone here, I mean, they got loudspeakers saying that Ben Shapiro's terrible. There's more people here, from what I can see, saying Ben's terrible. I mean,
Yeah, of course, but you also have an army of cops, and you have a speaker inside inciting.
Are the cops bad?
What?
Are the cops bad? Is the cops a bad thing? I mean, they're here to protect
the
everybody.
interests of people with really toxic ideas.
Do you think we should be able to spread toxic ideas?
Absolutely not.
Who decides what a toxic idea is?
That's a good question. Not people who are upholding a white supremacist structure of power. And those are the people who get to determine what free speech is now. I mean, it's problematic because you can bend laws to the will of the powerful, and as long as this country's been around, they've been bent to the will of the powerful white people who are interested only in upholding white supremacy.
Do you think Ben Shapiro's a white supremacist?
I think aspects of his speech could certainly be called white supremacy. Absolutely.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, I mean, he's. I can think. I mean, there are a number of things he said about Black lives. I mean, okay,
Oh, that's a pretty sweet sign. They got Donald Trump. Make sure you get this sign right here. He's got oil on his hands. For some reason, there's North Korea on the map. Nobody knows why. I tried to ask the guy about it, but he didn't seem very talkative. Can I ask you about your sign?
Sure.
All right, what do we got going on here?
Well, I went back right after this asshole got elected president, and this is a sign I made for the inaugural parade as a protester along the inaugural.
You were there at the inauguration?
Yes, I was.
Oh, wow.
So this is my protest sign for that day. And I love Bill Moyers, a profoundly disturbed ignoramus, a vow breaker, a bully, in debt to the Russian mob. Okay.
Wow.
Not my president, because he is, and then all these things. And then this was for the women's parade, and this is my idea. I wanted the angriest pussycat I could think of, and so I Googled Siberian tiger, and they gave me 4 shots for photos, and I picked out this one and copied it.
Wow. Did you draw that yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
Fit in. I got the dirtiest jacket I could find in the shittiest pants, and I think I fit in.
You're missing the mask, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Everyone here's got a mask in their pockets.
Hide them somewhere.
Right?
I hate capitalism, and my mom made me a sandwich
Yeah.
for him.
All right, so we got They got the loudspeaker hooked up to a telephone from the people inside, and they're saying they're trapped in, and they're peaceful, and the cops aren't letting them out. So that's the latest we got here. We can't see them anymore from the windows, but there's a heavy police presence up on the bridge there. And we're gonna start chanting now. Let them through. Apparently they're trapped inside. That's probably not what's actually going on, but we'll find out.
Imagine how dehumanizing, how oppressive it would feel to go through life and consistently be misgendered by people who don't care to address you by the correct pronouns, to address you by the correct name.
What happened to sticks and stones might break my bones, but words never hurt me.
Okay, now you're getting into the like, oh, get a thicker skin. Fuck
Yeah.
that. Fuck that. Fuck that privileged shit. Don't ever say that to anyone, as a white man especially, who is oppressed. Don't ever say that.
I mean, I get called names every day. When I was a kid,
I don't care.
I got beat up on.
I don't
was
care.
was I oppressed?
No.
So how is it different?
Because you and I live in and everyone else lives in a white supremacist state that is looking out for the interests of you.
Is California a white supremacist state?
Yeah.
You're white.
I know.
You're privileged.
I know I am.
So what are you doing? You're the enemy of these people.
Like,
you're a white male, man. You're the enemy.
yeah. I'm a
White Jew. You're not.
Thank
There's
you.
no such thing as a white Jew.
There is. I'm a Jew. Well, okay, so that's part of it. I'm a Jew. A Jew is
You're not white.
That's right. Okay.
He's an Aryan, I can tell.
So what's your name?
Amber Cummings.
All right, and what does your sign say here?
Stand against Antifa, LGBTQ. Trying to get hey Jason, I'm trying to get them to stand against. They're trying to grab our people up and they're trying to marginalize our people and say they're trying to protect our people. And this is a violent group. They're a Marxist group, and I'm really against the idea of my group being hijacked by a bunch of terrorists trying to say they're here for our protection. I've seen what they do. This is not a group we want to be associated with.
It seems like as a minority group, you automatically get lumped in with these people.
Yeah, and I'm not
And-
with these people.
and
They're
there's-
standing against America.
There's a few transgender individuals, and they seem to be able to speak for the whole community.
Yeah, they try to speak for me.
The loudest one.
Yeah, they try to be loud, and they've already called me traitors. It was on the news. They were screaming out there, doing vile, vulgar things to me.
So just because you have a different opinion than them.
Different opinion. You've seen what they want violence. Every time somebody has a different opinion than them, their answer is violence. That's pretty much what they degrade down to. I haven't been attacked here.
Okay.
I've been attacked in the past by Antifa.
Yeah.
And I've been
Really?
attacked
By Antifa?
Antifa. So
Just because you're holding that sign, or
I just had a sign at a park that said "Trans Women for Trump," and I got attacked for that sign.
Trans Women for Trump got you
I
attacked?
got attacked, thrown to the ground by Yvette LaPlark. Was right over me. That little terrorist teacher over here. There was just a picture. Look it up on the internet.
A teacher?
A teacher. She's a school teacher here, and she's a head of BAM. This is by any means necessary. It's a
Oh yeah. That.
And if you look her up, you'll see a picture of me. It's Amber Gwen Cummings. You look at me, she's standing right over me while her group's got me shoved to the ground,
Wow.
calling me a traitor. These are violent terrorists and they need to be stopped.
Wow.
This BAM and Antifa is terrorists. That's all they are.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that further reinforces the idea that they're just completely closed-minded to anyone who has a different opinion than them. So.
Absolutely. And we, in America, we need to be able to speak and say, they should be allowed to say their opinion without violence. I should be allowed to say mine.
All right. What's going on here with the paint?
Exercising our right for the First Amendment.
Right on. Are you guys like pro Ben Shapiro, anti Ben Shapiro? What's the deal?
Neutral. We're just
Free speech?
libertarian speech, pro free speech.
Right on, dude. That's what we're here for too. Well, keep on rocking it. Have you got any flack for sporting the colors?
We have. They're angry that we're patriotic, which is interesting.
I mean,
That's why we did it.
That's why we did it in the first place, to see if anyone
Right.
would take exception to the fact that we're representing a nation in which everyone lives. So
isn't it wacky? There was a guy over there trying to sell communism, dude. Isn't that wacky?
in America, They're go talking up there is promulgating communism. Yeah.
I know, dude.
Built on low federal government. We're not supposed to have this wide of a government. We're here.
Exactly, dude. Smaller government. Yeah, right on, dude.
Yeah, they're angry that we're proud to live here, but I mean, they're paying to go to a college inside America, so it's like,
I'm here to support.
Isn't that ironic?
Right. I'm here to support Ben Shapiro and his First Amendment to speak.
Like, yeah, if there was a crazy communist speaker, would you guys support him too?
I would.
I wouldn't support him, but I'd support his right to speak.
Let him speak. All right, right on, dude.
I know that I have proximity to whiteness because I'm white and I pass as white, but I also know that I'm a Jew and that's some fucking insecure shit. and that it's my responsibility every single day of my life to work against white supremacy with all these people in the streets, because my liberation is bound up with their liberation, and it is not bound up with white supremacy. And you're right that I'm a Jew.
You're a Jew.
I'm a Jew.
And I personally get sick of hearing about your Holocaust because
What?
because you don't ever mention, since you've been talking, you don't ever mention anything about Native Americans.
I do.
I mean, if you, I'm not meaning you personally. Let me finish.
You're talking about all Jews?
No. Let me finish.
Wait, who did you mean with you?
No, I don't mean you personally. What I'm saying is the media.
Jews?
All we hear about is Holocaust. How about the Holocaust of Native Americans? We never hear about that. We're on the land you're standing. You've got such the media crippled out that all we hear about is the Holocaust.
Wait.
Yeah.
Who's Native Americans?
Well, but the thing is,
Who's they?
Yeah.
Wait,
who's
before
they?
we make a
I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
No,
Don't
did
get
you
me
just
wrong.
talk about the Jewish-controlled media?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Buddy, I'm so sad that you just like defended me as a Jew and then went into this super anti-Semitic.
Is it weird that people have different opinions and don't all fit into one group?
No, but he just went into an classic
Why
anti-Semitic
is it I
trope.
always have to hear about the Holocaust, and I never hear anything about Native American Holocaust?
hear
It's
about both of them.
99.9% Jewish Holocaust. Why is that?
So what you've just witnessed is the left eating themselves as the different minority classes start to feud. Now you notice the guy on the right, he had a different opinion than the guy on the left, so now they're starting to feud. It's classic infighting when they find out that there are differing opinions. That's it. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. I spoke earlier. I spoke.
What's your name?
Noe Godino.
And you were one of the speakers?
Yeah, I was one of the speakers.
Right on, man. What's your message?
My message is to come together, bro. At the end of the day, man, people want to speak their views. This is free speech everywhere. Everywhere we go, we're either fight for free speech or safe space. At the end of the day, we're in the safe space, so it has to be some type of freedom of speech, right? Can we make a compromise?
Didn't that chick on the milk card just say that milk card is only for you guys' views?
I don't know, but me, I spoke before that, and I didn't say that. You heard me. My thing is this. At the end of the day is most Republicans have talking points for liberals because liberals actually can say this shit. But liberals can't have no talking points against Republicans because Republicans can't ever say this shit.
They don't say anything?
No, they can't say it because we always just trying to stop it. Here.
Trying to stop Republicans from saying stuff?
Exactly.
That's what it seems like.
How can they ever say their point of view? How can you ever have a clear debate if you can't have two people state their point of view?
What seems to me is like, if it's a different opinion, it automatically gets shut down.
It's just, to me, growing up in the hood, bro, in the streets, in the hood, people don't do that. We don't accept that.
Right.
If somebody got their point of view and they can back it up, they can say it.
Who's talking about how any right-winger point of views automatically get shut down? If you don't share the same opinions as these people who are talking, they don't even want to hear your opinion. They go straight to an emotional argument. They want to shut you down. They don't want you to talk. So it's really refreshing to hear someone like that, who was actually on the microphone here, say that, he actually admitted that the left is out to shut any arguments down that they don't agree with. So refreshing.
At a time when they're banning DACA students, when they're deporting our immigrant sisters and brothers, 400 of them every day, terrorizing families if you are neutral, when white supremacists are marching in the street with the sanction from the White House, you're not really neutral. That sister is right. So, okay, we have a few other people who are inside who,
Wow.
All right,
You cannot be neutral. If you're neutral, you're an enemy. All right. We just escalated it one step further. Now, originally they claimed there was violence that was occurring on the inside. Now it's upgraded to terrorism. I don't think any of them were hurt, but according to them, it was an act of terrorism. It was, in the end, eventually for their safety, but.
There were two arrests. There were two women that were arrested. One woman was arrested because she was carrying a sign. She was carrying a sign from a bookstore over to Bancroft and Telegraph, okay?
So she was just holding a sign?
She was carrying a sign. It was a sign like about, I don't know, maybe 4 feet by 3 feet or something. I'm not exactly sure the dimensions.
And the cops just swiped her?
She was carrying it like this. And they stopped her and they arrested her for carrying the sign. The African American and Latino community? Oh shit.
All right. We got some action over here. Hey, thanks for talking to us. All right, here we go. Something just happened while I was interviewing this gentleman. Yeah, so while we were in the middle of an interview, something happened. We're not really sure. I don't think it's anything. I think someone just was, someone tripped and fell or something maybe.
My friend Celeste Paradise had a pro Shapiro sign. She was standing up on the corner of the Walgreens there.
Yeah.
And so she's waving it, and you know, we're heckling the people over here. One of these jerks with a no shirt on and a bandana ran up and grabbed it out of her hand. So unfortunately, she tried to jump down after her sign, and she got knocked over. Unfortunately, you know, she has 3 slip discs, so she shouldn't have done that. But, you know, she was basically physically assaulted and knocked over.
Okay, so someone tried to steal her sign, basically, and then she fell over? Yeah. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, brother. Hopefully, I hope she gets taken care of, man.
You with anyone?
Weekly Narrative.
What kind of,
Political affiliation?
Yeah.
Middle? Libertarian?
Straight up.
Yeah?
You guys rock.
Thanks,
they
brother.
hate you guys worse.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, it's fucking
Dude,
terrible.
they think we're all right now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even think that you're all right. They think that you're Nazis and white supremacists.
I know.
And it's
Isn't
disgusting.
free speech is all of a sudden a Nazi value, apparently?
Apparently.
Right.
I mean, I had to go. I ran up to like when they started moving, and they were calling Ben a white supremacist, and Ben Shapiro is a Jew, and I had to make that known to them that the white supremacists and the Nazis want to kill him.
Right.
Hold on. Maybe you can't understand English, but I said a lot of words. That whole sentence is a sentence. I'm not arguing. No, that's right, Nazi.
There it is. That's what we've been waiting all night to hear. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. Woo! Finally, we get to hear it. It's a little late, but
Well, I mean, reasonable people sometimes forget that the KKK is bad. Reasonable people sometimes forget, you know, that these things are bad.
we need reminders.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, so we got a pretty productive discussion going on here. You got a gentleman here with a Superman communism flag, and then right in the middle of all that, it's just now dispersing. It was 2 people basically yelling face to face for about 10 minutes straight. They're just yelling at each other. All right, so it's 9:45. It's been pretty docile so far. We've had a couple incidents. We've heard reports of 2 women getting arrested by the police for carrying signs. I'm not sure how credible that is. And we had one lady who had a Ben Shapiro sign in support of Ben Shapiro. Someone tried to steal the sign from her, and she fell trying to get it back. And the medical people had to carry her away. So it doesn't seem like there's any incidents of violence other than that, and then definitely nothing in, right on left. The rhetoric from the left has been pretty borderline violent all night, and luckily the crowd's kind of dying down here. I think it's going to be pretty much dispersed pretty quickly here. So